Good morning. I'm looking through my steps journal again this morning, and the scripture verse that I have in mind today is in Psalm 73. And in Psalm 73, the writer is complaining about just how unfair the world is. In his particular situation, he was looking around and he said, what's the point of being a believer, being a follower of Jesus Christ? What's the point of being true to God when I look around and it seems people who have no regard for God are doing fine? They certainly seem to have all the money and position and good fortune that you can imagine. So, obviously, the fact that they don't follow God isn't hurting them. So why should I be following God? Like, the world is just so unfair. And sometimes in a crisis such as the one we're facing, we can have the same sort of attitude. Being a Christian doesn't seem to protect your job from being lost. It doesn't necessarily prevent you from contracting a serious illness. The world is kind of unfair. So why should I be true to God in the face of all of this? Well, that's the kind of question that the writer of Psalm 73 has dealt with. In fact, he said, this upset me to the point that I almost fell away. I almost gave up on faithfulness to God. I got to the point where I just thought, what's the whole point? But then, as he comes towards the end of the psalm, in Psalm 23, he kind of gets a reality check. And this is what he writes. He says, yeah, I look around, the world doesn't seem to be fair. Nevertheless, he says, I am continually with you, God. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will receive me to glory. Who have I in heaven but you? And there is nothing on earth that I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. And so, having come to the point of just giving up on God because of the unfairness of life, he says, listen, when I step back and look at this with a long view, I realize that I have a home in heaven and I have spiritual life because of Jesus Christ right now. God is continually with me, whatever I'm facing, and he'll never leave me nor forsake me, as another biblical writer put it. And so in the middle of a situation where it appears on the surface that life isn't fair, at the end of the day, God is still on the throne and he is still there. So when life doesn't seem fair, God is still there. And that gives the psalmist courage to go on and to continue trusting God, even in the face of calamity. This verse was an encouragement to me this week as I just consider the various things that have been happening around me. And I hope it'll be an encouragement to you. So keep this in mind. When the world doesn't seem fair, God is still there and you can trust him.